that obedience piece is key because I do think that a lot of times we find ourselves in some bad situations.
Yes.
I'm not talking about obedience to parents as an adult, but definitely obedience to God and obedience to what you know to do.
Yes.
And where you know to be.
Yes.
And what you know to have said and not to have said.
Or just doing what the last thing you heard.
Right.
Doing the last thing you heard.
Do what you heard. Yeah, there was a time, you remember this because I think I came home like freaked out. We lived here in Nashville. This is about 10 years ago, maybe. And I say that only to say like I really have been working to learn this lesson since then. But I remember coming from a meeting, and I was coming up I-65, which is a big highway here, and it was torrential downpour, and I was just trying to get home before it really, really started pouring. And so I had missed that opportunity. But I'm on 65, and I just remember like I was just gunning it. I was just trying to get home because I didn't know if it was a tornado coming or whatever. In the rain. And faster than I needed to be. And it wasn't, I don't know that I was above the speed limit, but for the amount of rain that was coming and the low visibility, I should have just been going slower. And I'm driving, and I felt like this premonition, this gut feeling of, you need to slow down. And so I said, okay, well, I don't have time for that right now. I probably should, but I got to get home. And I kept going, and then again, I felt it. And this is like within 6 seconds. I'm not talking like 3 minutes of driving. This is like within 6 seconds, it was like, slow down.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to go. And the third time, this is the closest that I feel like I've ever come to hearing the audible voice of God. It was as if my entire insides said, slow down. And it was like a yell in my being. I don't know what it was. I've never felt it this way before. And I said, oh, and it startled me so much that I just like started slowing down, and I got out of the left lane, the fast lane, just because I thought, let me just slow down and cool it. And within seconds, the car is right in front of me, pow, 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 complete accident, spun out. And I thought, okay. And I mean, I had to pull like all the way to the side and was like, if I had not slowed down in that moment, I would have been in that spin out.
Jesus.
In 70 miles per hour, torrential downpour, hydroplane or whatever. And all I could think is, you better be obedient. Like, it shouldn't have taken 3 times for you to hear that.
3 times.
You know what I'm saying? And
you don't know when you get 3 times.
You don't know when you get 3 times. And
that's not to say we're not saying the inverse, as in every accident has occurred because somebody wasn't listening. That is not, we're not jumping that far.
Yeah.
But
But I knew very clearly. Something is telling me to slow down. And it wasn't just like, I should be safe. It was like, you need to listen right now to this. And by that third time, I'll never forget it. It felt like someone screaming inside of me. I don't know how to describe it other than that.
That's crazy.
And I said, man, if I had not done that, I don't know that I would have made it home.
Thank you, Jesus.
And, that's just one of those things where it's like obedience matters.
Yes, it does.
It matters for things that you don't even understand. It matters. Right. And if I think a lot of people would say, well, I don't know how to, hear the voice of God. And how do I know what it'll be? This is not like a how-to on that, because I think that a lot of times we do understand what God is saying. It doesn't come in the fashion or the form that would give us the sense that we really do, so we don't take it on.